House of Assembly on allegations of gross misconduct. So we have that situation in Edo State, and we'll be talking about it just now. We have joining us a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party in Edo State, Don Pedro Obaseki, one of our very own, joining us via Zoom. Good morning, Don Pedro.
It's good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Adora. Good morning, Kule. Nice to see you guys again.
So are you expecting this to happen?
Nobody expects his or her deputy governor to be impeached. I was on this program sometime in July.
Yes.
With Adora. And I told you that at the rate things were going, this was just being a doomsday delay. The truth of the matter is, when I look at what has gone down, I watched you at the beginning, this very program today, and I saw Philip speaking, and I felt a little uncomfortable. Uncomfortable in the sense that you are defending yourself now on social media, and you did not bother to follow the due processes of the law by defending yourself before the panel. And I think that was a lost opportunity. This is a statement after the fact. So I wasn't expecting it to go any other way. He had actually provided all the premises for this to happen. And for anybody to be saying, oh, wow, oh, ha, it's just been circumspect and a statement after the fact. Yes, I would say it was not least expected.
Now, Don P, it was a long-drawn issue between the governor, Godwin Obaseki, and his erstwhile deputy, Philip Shaibu. And at some point, it looked as if the elders of the party, leaders of thought in the state had intervened, and there was some reprieve in the matter. But how quickly did things degenerate, leading to the ouster of Philip Shaibu?
No, I don't think so. On a very serious note, taking into consideration what has played out, this is the first time I will hear someone of such high ranking as a deputy governor will be facing this kind of tortuous journey. And not even a single prominent person within even his own restricted community came out to say, no, please stop. And each and every time, it is the deputy governor you hear. You don't hear Godwin Obaseki from the very beginning. In fact, I remember when sometime in July 2023, when Mr. Philip Shaibu first went to court, saying that he suspects they want to impeach him and went to ask for an interlocutory injunction to stop a process that hadn't started. That was when we heard about this impeachment imbroglio from the very beginning. And I said then that this was his position unknown to law, that you are going to court over a crime that is yet to even be processed or committed. Okay, let's look at the way the votes went. The PDP has about 14 seats in the State House of Assembly, and there are 24 seats in that House of Assembly. The Labour Party has 1 seat in that assembly. The remaining 9 seats belong to the APC. And in this vote, particularly in the originating summons to call the deputy governor to face a panel, all the APC who are actually in opposition, along with the Labour Party, who are in opposition, all signed along with the PDP. Now that must show you that whatever seeming popularity that Mr. Shaibu had was actually flimsy, all of them. And you all know how assiduous and maybe acidic the political environment in Edo State is. So this was the first time all of them agreed on anything. Let me tell you this. During the Midwest Day celebration in late August 2023, I was opportuned to sit just side by side on an aircraft from Benin to Abuja. And by my side was Senator Comrade Adams Oshomole. I had accused Philip then over the same ambition that I don't think it is. I had wanted to run for governor once upon a time. Now my brother had run for governor.
Oh, looks like the network is...
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, we can hear you.
Okay. And as at that time, Mr. Oshomole told me pointedly that, please, Pedro, if my fight with Godwin Obaseki in all this, if Godwin Obaseki was a gun, Philip Shaibu was the bullet and the trigger in that gun. The very next day, I think the next day he went on air and said that the APC...
I think we may be having a bit of a challenge with
Yes,
the
there's a
bandwidth.
technical hitch there. The network is really not allowing us to clearly hear him.
I can see you and I can hear you.
Okay, please
Okay,
go ahead.
Okay. I said in that very moment, Mr. Oshomole told me, I'm not saying maybe, he told me.
Technology is still cheating us here.
But I
Please
can
go
hear
ahead.
you. So I think that it is important that Edo people know
that not even the nation knows that Philip might have been the principal architect of his own downfall. I believe that there were other avenues that would have been used to sort out this seeming unfortunate incident that seems to have turned my state into a political melodrama, a comedy of errors. But I think that the handling of this by Philip left much to be desired. Let me put it this way. The deputy governorship position in every state is quite different from what has transpired in Edo State in the last 7 years. I'm sure if I say count the deputy governors of any state, not many Nigerians may know the deputy governor of more than 1 or 2 states. But everybody knows the deputy governor of Edo State because of the latitude and the openness that Godwin gave to Philip right from the very beginning. I can remember that Godwin Obaseki still holds some of the records of having ceded power not once, not twice, not 3 times to his deputy when he goes on leave. Most people don't do that. It doesn't happen in Nigeria. Most people don't even know how popular as Adams Oshomole was, who his deputy governor was. Oshomole also told me personally, standing behind me was the former deputy governor of the state, Mr. Lucky Imaswe, on the same flight, that I did not support for my own reasons my deputy, Dr. Pius Odubu, to become governor. But he didn't take me to court. That is, I'm quoting Adams Oshomole. He didn't fight me. That is Adams Oshomole. He says, oh, Philip cannot be biting every finger that fits him. That is Adams Oshomole. I'm quoting him. I'm not saying I said that. So, but these things, but was he telling the truth? The answer is yes. I am from Edo State. Our neighboring state is Delta State. I don't know who the deputy governor is. The next state is Ondo State. I don't know who the deputy governor is. The next state is Kogi State. I don't know who the deputy governor is. I think all this hoopla is as a result of the overwhelming political magnanimity of Godwin Obaseki. And at this time of the day, if you go online, if you see vituperations over this deputy governorship, it is Philip Shaibu. It is Philip that will go on air, on AIT, on Arise, on channels, casting unprintable stuff on the governor. I want to take you back to early 2021 when they just started their second term. In trying to resolve the problem between the old PDP and the new PDP in the state, the then chairman of the party, Mr. Dr. Iyocha, came to Benin City. On the podium, the deputy governor took his microphone. That was where many people started saying, what's going on? Casting unprintable insults on the sitting PDP leadership. Why doing that on that very day? It made the then governor of Rivers State get very upset and went on air and said, who the hell is this deputy governor? Who is this man that just comes out and says things? And he was angry. Godwin Obaseki went to the extent of going on all available media to defend his deputy governor, took pages in the newspapers. So I think that if you now call that same person, if you fight John today, fight David tomorrow, fight Wikenes tomorrow, fight Iyocha Ayu, fight Adams Oshomole. If I remember clearly, in the run into the elections in Edo State in 2020, for their second term election, I can remember clearly, the same Philip went on air. We were screaming, I don't know be Lagos, I don't know be Lagos. He went on air and said that his father, who officially was Adams Oshomole, had a mental problem. He called the man a madman on public television. So you might begin, it is like profiling. You now begin to see, for me, if I put all this together, I don't want to take anything in isolation. I think that Philip Shaibu needed to apply the brakes at one time or the other. There's always a political resolution to these kind of things. I think those avenues were never exploited.
Talking about political solutions, some would also say that maybe for Philip and the way he was shamefully retired. It may also look like he's been also made politically redundant, in the meantime, going by the way that this had worked out. But he's responded and says, and I think I will quote him, he said, "I will not be deterred or intimidated by those who seek to subvert democracy, and that, this is a show of autocracy by the governor, Obaseki." But I hear you say this is one man who has, stood up for him, fought for him, and this is coming from a man who perhaps maybe didn't think that was enough to pay that allegiance to him, just as you have expressed.
Philip has always been a very lucky individual. Let me quote Chino Achebe. He said, "Those whose nuts have been cracked for them by benevolent spirits should not forget to be humble." Philip is a beneficiary of all the benevolence of political players around him. We have a sitting deputy governor who, in his last election, where he was the candidate, did not win his ward. His own ward, I didn't say his local government. And in that election, the PDP won 13 out of 18 local governments. And the 5 that the PDP lost, the one they lost most scandalously was Esako West, because he has the unfortunate, baggage of being in the same local government and the same Zaire clan, the same village clan setting as Adams Oshiomhole, who appeared to be an unstoppable political behemoth in that his backyard. Now, going forward, this same deputy governor had been given so much latitude. All of us know all the petrol stations he has all over Edo State. Everybody knows that the governor gave him the right to run this, run that, run the sports festival, run the National Festival of Arts and Culture. He was the go-to man. I knew there was a time I had to even intervene in his altercation with the media, including your own group managing director. So these are things. And I don't think that is something that was not replicated across board over time between 2016 and yesterday. So I think that for me, the person that has been so lucky so far, is a pity that this has ended in an unsung, unwholesome dynamo, is Philip Shaibu. But I think that by God's grace, he's still young. We are still young. I mean, in Nigeria, I think he's about 55 or thereabout. He still has room for there to be some sort of restitution. But unfortunately for him, maybe his lawyers don't advise him properly. He would have looked at the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, 1999 as amended. It gives very little room for there to be a reversal of fortune where this is concerned. So I think a lot of tragic pride, hubris, came to play here. And this can actually ruin the young man. I am about a year or so older than he is, going forward. So I think we should calm down. He also should calm down. Social media vituperation will not change the political reality on ground. Power abhors a vacuum. The state has replaced him with another person who is known to law. He will let you know that the first person to impeach his deputy governor, and that was way back in the very first 4 years of our return to democracy, was Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu on his replacement of the then deputy governor of the state. Then he did it again with Femi Pedro in 2007, just 2 months to leave in office. Femi Pedro was actually removed as deputy governor just as at the day or the week or month of the election, and the deputy governor who came in then did not spend 2 months. So these are not things that are not known to law. Not stopping there. Okay. The governor, they keep saying the governor. It's funny. The governor, by law, had no role to play in this process. They should be screaming the speaker, and the members of the House of
Yes, I would have loved for you to finish that, but we've run out of time. We have to move on to another conversation now. But I think you've made your point clearly that Mr. Philip Shaibu actually did do himself a lot of wrong in not seeking other options in resolving the political imbroglio that removed him from office on Monday.
Yes, I agree with you. That is the summation of my presentation,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, we thank you very much, Dr. Don Pedro Obaseki, for joining us on Kakaaki this morning.
Happy holidays.
Enjoy your holidays.
Yeah. All right, definitely that was, I didn't expect anything, more from him, because absolutely he spoke about this, I think in Foresight some months back while he was here on the show on this matter when it started rearing its ugly head. And he did say that Philip Shaibu should take a step back and go back to the political drawing table and see how he can get some inroads, with the stakeholders at the elder stakeholders level. But voila, here we are.
Okay.